In play, that's a fair ball to Jake. What a play from Jake Oliver!
See? He used up the one good shot.
And that is destroyed! Tie game! 60.
Let's go.
That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes the great play from Peter McNeil.
Justice already took advantage of that. What a play over at third.
He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's going to be out. Jordan Rice tags out Trey Cluxton right. Ground ball right back to Jackie. Bobbles the ball. Flips it over to first and still gets Alex Harden.
Crotch, get out, ball later!
And he might have just missed it. Caught and run from Jordan Rice. And that's a shot. Cyclones, what a play!
Oh, and moonshot. Oh, he rolled it! What a catch! What a catch!
Bears coming home. And he hits it. What a play! What a play! The double play from Jerry Langston. And that ball is out of here. Walk-off home run, Jake Oliver. Yeah, he's amazing at all. I don't know if I like it. Oh, down! He got him. Oh my God! He brought the play before he was there.
Cat Aubrey flips the first. Flare it up. What a play from Peter McNeil! In play, that's a fair ball to Jake. What a play from Jake Oliver! And that is destroyed! Tie game! 60. That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes the great play from Peter McNeil.
Justice already took advantage of that. What a play over at third.
He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's going to be out. Jordan Rice tags out Trey Cluxton right. Flips it over to first and still gets Alex Harden.
Crotch, get out, ball later!
And he
in play. That's a fair ball to Jacob. What a play from Jacob! And that is destroyed! Tie game! That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes the great play from Peter McNeil.
To that. What a play over at third.
That's in play, and he might have just missed it. Caught and run from Jordan Wright.
Cross, get out, ball later!
And that ball is out of here. Walk off home run. Oh, top for the out as Barrett's coming home. And he hits it. And that's a shot. Zach Conway is running third. He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's gonna be out. Flipped over the first. I don't know if I like it.
He flips the first. Oh, and moonshot. Oh, he rolled it! Flare it up. What a play for Peter McNeil!
What is going on, wiffle ball fans, and welcome to AWA Field. Tonight, it's the last game of the regular season played between the Central Cyclones and a different lineup tonight for the Southern Stingers. Gonna be a great one. We're looking forward to it. Last game of the regular season. Playoffs starting next week. And we're all getting ready and prepared to fight for that World Series trophy in the 2023 AWA playoffs. What's going on, everybody? I'm Mark Campanero. I'm going to be joined alongside Jack Playhouse on color here tonight, and we're looking forward to this matchup. We're going to get into starting lineups here shortly between the two teams. For your Central Cyclones, Evan Clugston on the mound leading off. Jackson Carr will hit second at third. Alex Ballard hitting third at second base. And Zane Phillips rounds out the squad hitting fourth. That's your Central Cyclones lineup. Southern Stingers are going to have a very different lineup here tonight. Drew Tenzar will lead it off. Chris Langstead will be hitting second for the Stingers. Bailey Rosnu will be hitting third, and Cole Blevins will round out the squad hitting fourth. No Jordan Rice and no Peter McNeil here tonight for the Stingers. Going to be a different lineup. No Barrett Carlo. So the Stingers, definitely a new look, and it's going to be a tough matchup for them playing against the Cyclones, who have the best pitcher in the league, Evan Clugston. We're going to send it down to Jack Playhouse, who is with Central Cyclones player Jackson Carr.
Thank you, Mark. I'm here with Jackson Carr. Now, Jackson, you guys have an excellent season here on the Cyclones. You guys are sitting 16-8. But today, if you sweep this Stingers team, you will take the 1 seed from the Pilots. How can you get it done today?
We're going to need to take advantage of no Jordan Rice and no Peter McNeil. We're just going to need to get on base and, execute like we always do.
Yeah, that being said, the top three options for the Stingers offensively and defensively, pitching-wise, Peter McNeil out, Jordan Rice out with an injury, Barrett Carlo out. That's the entire Stingers offense. Without them, they've had little to no success, especially when it comes to pitching. You guys are going to face Drew Tenzar on the mound, who's had one start this year, 18 ERA. The other pitcher, whoever it may be, hasn't had a start yet. How are you going to capitalize on that and get some offense going for yourself?
I don't want to say we're getting away with one here, but we just might be. We're just going to need to wait on the pitch down the middle. Hopefully they're throwing some strikes that we can hit, and just keep pumping in the runs.
Now you're sitting at 8 home runs on the year. League leader right now is Jake Oliver with 12. You hit 3 in 1 inning last week. How can you get to 12, and how are you going to do it?
Absolutely, I can. If any night is the night, it's tonight. And, I just got to be patient and wait for that one down the middle that I can just crank out of there.
And lastly, sitting in the booth today is Mark Campanero. He is a member of the Pilots. If you sweep the Stingers today, you will take that 1 seed from Mark Campanero and the Pilots. Anything you want to say to him before you get into today's game?
You know, you got a great team. Hopefully we'll see you in the playoffs, and I expect to. So, yeah.
Excellent, sir. Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
And we just heard from Jackson Carr of the Central Cyclones with the matchup here tonight. Definitely a new look Stingers squad without Peter McNeil, Jordan Rice, and Barrett Carlo. It's definitely a new look for this team. It's going to be tough for this Stinger squad to try to beat the Cyclones here tonight. Peter McNeil and Jordan Rice, generally the 1-2 punch for this squad pitching, and Barrett Carlo has been so good this season hitting at the plate. Definitely major blows for this Stingers team, who are going to more than likely lock up that spot in the wild card against the Western Wolfpack, which will begin next week. Again, playoffs starting next week for the AWA, and it'll get kicked off with that wild card game between the Stingers and the Wolfpack. Cyclones have an opportunity to steal the #1 seed away from the Pacific Pilots. The Pilots had been in first all season long, but the Cyclones having an opportunity here to take that #1 seed if they sweep here tonight against the Stingers. And with so many players absent for the Stingers, it definitely looks like it might be a likely outcome for the Cyclones with how well they've played this year. The Pacific Pilots, they have dropped a few in some series, in their last few series, so they were struggling a little bit heading into the playoffs, but Cyclones have been strong all year long. Waiting for some last final lineups to get finalized here, and we're about to get game #1 started momentarily. We will be back very shortly for first pitch of game 1. Never mind, we are going to send it down to Jack Blayhouse, who has Chris Langstead of the Southern Stingers.
I'm here with Chris Langstead. Now, Chris, you played in the first ever AWA game. That was back in 2020 preseason. You remember the Enforcers. You're here at the Stingers. How are you going to step up? I know the level of play has changed a little bit, but how are you going to step up and get it done for this undermanned Stingers team today?
All right, my idea is that I'm just going to try to get walked, get on the base, and try my best not to embarrass myself and my family.
Now, speaking of your family, Jeremy Langstead, your brother, he would be on the Cyclones. He broke his finger or thumb, whatever he did. What do you have to say to Jeremy? Are you going to take down his team here today?
Well, first off, Jack, yes, we will take down his team today. But Jeremy, just continue the rehab. I know you've been working hard, doing a lot of exercises, and keep it up. You'll get there soon enough.
Thank you, sir. Well, good luck today.
All right, thank you, sir.
Heard from Chris Langstead right there, and I am sure Jeremy Langstead is just at home working on those exercises. We wish him a speedy recovery. Drew Tenzar will more than likely be starting on the mound for this Stinger squad. Tenzar does not have very many innings under his belt. He has a couple. He has pitched in a few games in the AWA since his rookie season last year, but generally doesn't get the opportunity all that much, with Peter McNeil and Jordan Rice consistently on the mound, and both of them have pitched so well this season for the Stingers. So Tenzar finally getting another opportunity to get out there and show what he's got, but he's got to do it against one of, if not the best team in the league, the Central Cyclones. Evan Clugston, to no surprise, will lead it off here for the Cyclone, or will be on the mound for the Cyclones. Drew Tenzar will hit first for the Stingers.
Yeah, Bailey. Bailey, you look sick. I get it. All right.
All right. And first pitch from Evan Clugston is high for ball one here to Drew Tenzar. Tenzar fouls that one off down the third base line. Strike one.
I'm surprised Drew didn't run there. That was almost fair. About a millimeter away from being fair.
And to those of you wondering, Chris Langstead, who was interviewed before the game started, that is Jeremy Langstead's older brother. Chris Langstead playing for the Stingers here tonight, filling in for their many absences that they have. We appreciate Chris for coming out here and playing with us. Full count here to Tenzar. And that misses inside. Rare walk there for Evan Clugston. He walks Tenzar. Start the game off. Runner on first, and now up to the plate is Bailey Rosnew for the Stingers. Looks at strike one, and Bailey is just looking at that like, what am I looking at? And unfortunately, Bailey, you got to face the best pitcher in the league and the reigning 2022 Cy Young Award winner, Evan Clugston. 0-2 here to Rosnew. And that's high.
Judging by these hacks and kind of the way Bailey's observed these couple pitches, for the rookies, Bailey and Chris, it might behoove them to take a little more pitches than swinging right out of the gates.
I would have to agree. The problem is that Evan Clugston, his stuff is just so nasty, and he can throw strikes on command whenever he wants to. And he goes around there, strike three. Rosnew striking out his first at-bat in the AWA, one away here in the top of the first. To the plate is Chris Langstead. Got the nice Star Wars shirt on tonight. Gotta love it. Great shirt.
Chris Langstead, one of the original players back in 2020.
2-0 here to Langstead. And that's inside for, but I had the count wrong, apologize. 4-pitch walk there to Langstead. Runners on first and second for the Stingers. Up to the plate is Cole Blevins. You'll see right over there. Shout out to Milwaukee Tools. We appreciate Milwaukee Tools. Ground ball in play. And Tenzar's going to round third, head home. He's safe at home. That's an RBI single for Cole Blevins, and the Stingers take a one-run lead here in the top of the first. What a hit there from Blevins.
Chris's phone fell out there, but if you had Cole Blevins gets an RBI single against Evan Clugston on your bingo card, I would not have gotten that one.
That was impressive there from Blevins. He hasn't had the easiest season at the plate, but RBI single there in his first at-bat of the night. The ball one here to Tenzar. Count is 1-2. And that's outside for ball two. Even. Count is even here at 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that was a nasty sinker there from Clugston. Gets Tenzar to strike out. 2 away now in the top of the first. And up to the plate is Bailey Rosnew. Looks at ball one. Rose now. High and inside, ball 3, 3-0 now to Rosnew. And that's ball 4. Evan Clugston walks Rosnew.
Yeah, and
Bases loaded.
we were talking pregame with Drew Tenzar, the only kind of rock for the Stingers team remaining on this roster, but sometimes this can kind of get into the pitcher's head, facing batters that not typically are going to be swinging, and all of a sudden an easy strike becomes much harder.
Chris Langstead to the plate. He swings and misses there. Strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike as Clugston misses high on that one. 2-1. And yeah, I mean, you know, we were talking, you know, the Stingers, you know, only bringing back 2 current players on their roster, Cole Blevins and Drew Tenzar, to this game. Thought it might be a tough one for them tonight as Langstead hits that one foul.
That's a ball, right? Because it hit my hand.
Down the third base line. 2-2 is the count, but the Stingers end up striking first here against the Cyclones. Lead it 1-0.
Yeah, I hope Chris Mennett went off his bat and his hand there, because if that hit his hand, it would have been a strikeout.
Full count. Hits the zone, strike 3. Evan Clugston strikes out Chris Langstead to end the inning, but the Stingers, they get 1 run up on the board. They lead at 1-0. We go to the bottom of the first here in game number 1.
And then Bailey, if you go either one or so that camera right there, look behind you. Yeah, just that one down right at the 102. So either side of the 102. See that? Yeah. All right. So yeah.
And we're getting into the bottom of the first here, but another shout out here to Milwaukee Tools, the official grounds keeping crew of the AWA. Milwaukee Tools, we appreciate everything that you do for us here at the AWA. Make sure you go check out Milwaukee Tools if you need any new tools or need to purchase anything. Go to look at Milwaukee Tools. Alex Ballard leads it off for the Cyclones. Drew Tenzar on the mound. And he starts Ballard off with strike 1. Pitch there from Tenzar. And there's strike 2.
Someone's been practicing.
0-2 here to Ballard. That one just a tad high, and those are some promising pitches there from Tenzar. Looking pretty good out there. Strike 3. Down goes Alex Ballard. Tenzar strikes out Ballard for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning.
It just seems like every pitch, the Stingers get a little more hope, you know, especially for you, sitting here rooting for the Stingers to get 1.
Yeah, I was, you know, to say I was shocked that Peter McNeil, Jordan Rice, and Barrett Carlo weren't going to be here, it would be an understatement. But Tenzar trying to help out the Stingers here is Zane Phillips hits a moonshot out to left center field, and just like that, this ball game is tied.
Here's the announcer.
I think I should just stop talking. Zane Phillips, solo home run. This game's tied. Not a bad pitch there from Tenzar. Phillips just takes it over the left center field wall, deepest part of the park. Now up to the plate is Evan Clugston. Tenzar misses low there, ball 1.
Well, this may look like a meaningless game for the Stingers, and that might be why they decided to rest, for lack of a better word, all their top players. I don't know if you really need rest in wiffle ball, though.
You know, this is the defending World Series champions, so we don't want to say too much, as, you know, there might be a method to their madness here. Resting players. I know LeBron James has had a lot of success with resting in the NBA, so maybe McNeil, Rice, and Carlo will have the same effect here in the AWA. Clugston does not go around there. Full count. 3-2. As that is ripped foul, just nearly missing the foul pole over there.
Yeah, and to your point, the Stingers will be playing Monday no matter what against the Wolfpack in the wild card.
That's outside for ball 4. Runner on first for the Cyclones, and up steps the ever so dangerous Jackson Carr. And talk about a player who hits home runs in bunches. I mean, he had 3 home runs in 1 inning last series as that's popped up into the air. And Tenzar laying out full extension, unable to make the grab, but what an effort there from Tenzar nonetheless. Strike 1.
Love to see that effort right there. You know, Drew Tenzar's got 3 fielders out there right now that may not have as much experience some of the other players in the league.
Ball 1 there to Carr as he swings and misses. An outside pitch for strike 2. 1-2 here. Just a tad outside there. Is Tenzar's throwing pretty well here tonight. I know he gave up that big home run there to Zane Phillips, but Tenzar not looking too bad. Full count. Popped up into the air. Tenzar right underneath it. I think he purposefully missed that, so they could get the out at second, I guess. You know, I don't really know. Maybe he just missed it, but either way, that's an out.
It'll work.
Two away here in the bottom of the first. Still a runner on first. Back to the top of the order, and Alex Ballard.
Yeah, whenever a ball's hit right behind the pitcher's mound, for some reason, it's always very tough. That's got to be the second baseman's job to call that off.
Ballard fouls that one into the speaker back here. Hopefully we don't get too many more of those. 1-1 is the count. That's ripped high and deep out to right field. Stays in the park somehow. I mean, it hits the tree and stays in. An unfortunate series of events there for Ballard as the tree robbed him of a home run. That'll be a single. Runners on first and second. And up to the plate is Zane Phillips. Solo home run in his last at bat. Ground ball over to Langstead at third. That's going to be a tough play for Langstead. Phillips safe over at first. He'll be credited with an infield single. Base is loaded now for the Cyclones.
And if the Stingers want to steal any of these games, they're going to have to get the outs when they can. Drew diving there almost makes the play. Cole kind of misjudged that. It would have been a tough play to make, but still makeable.
Evan Clugston will step in. Cyclones trying to take their first lead of the series. And that's ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike here to Clugston. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. And that is, looks like Drew is trying to throw an off-speed pitch there to fool Clugston, but that was nowhere close. 2-2 is the count.
Evan Clugston always in that MVP conversation, especially Cy Young.
Full count now to Clugston. Bases loaded, 2 away. Swing and a miss. Down goes Evan Clugston. It's 61, and so Clugston is going to have another opportunity here. Full count. The bases loaded and 2 away.
Drew Tenzar throwing some high velo here early. A little bit of adrenaline.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Evan Clugston.
It's huge.
That's a tie game here. Drew Tenzar able to pitch his way out of a bases-loaded jam, but the Cyclones score 1 run off a Zane Phillips solo shot. We go to the top of the second inning here in game number 1, tie game.
Here today is Evan Clugston sitting at 104 strikeouts on the year. He looks at a strike right there. 116 is the record set last year by Alex Harden. Doesn't go there. But keep in mind, that was 13 games played. This year, there's only 9.
Inside hits Blevins 2-1, and I mean, regardless, getting over that 100 strikeout mark in the AWA in a single season is impressive nonetheless. But Clugston definitely has an opportunity to try to break that record. Ground ball right back to Evan Clugston on the mound. He flips to first and gets Cole Blevins for out number 1, one away in the inning.
Two players came close as we have gone through week 9 of the regular season. That is Josh Gradwell and Drew Gradwell. Josh, second in the league with 98 Ks, 2 away from 100, and then Drew right behind him with 97.
Impressive from the Gradwell cousins, and I mean, you can't say enough good things about Drew Gradwell, rookie this season, but looking like a vet, looking like he's played in the league for years the way he's played this year. Had 9 home runs at the plate, and like you said, Jack, 97 strikeouts on the mound.
It's a nasty pitch right there. Millimeter of the ball hit it.
Ground ball right over to Phillips at first. He knocks it down and steps on first base for out number 2, 2 away.
Always nice to have a solid first baseman.
To the plate is Bailey Rosnow. That hits the zone. 0-2 here to Rosnow.
If the Stingers want a chance, it's going to come down to Drew and Cole Blevins, the rookies. Anything added will be a bonus. Just try not to strike out every time.
Outside there, ball 1. Swing and a miss. As 61 be a no pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
They'll take as many of those as they can today.
And that is popped up into fair territory, but Zane Phillips fields it and flips over to Clugston at first. They get the out on Rosnow. No runs score for the Stingers in the top of the second. Game is still tied 1-1. We go to the bottom of the second here in game 1. Tenzar on the mound facing Jackson Carr. His Carr fouls the first pitch off.
Jackson Carr said pregame he was going to get to 12 home runs. He's sitting at 8 right now. 4 is hard to do, but we saw Dylan Carroll last week with 5, so it's not impossible.
You know, that's a bold claim there from Jackson Carr, but he's had bolder claims this season and backed him up. So, hey, won't put anything past Jackson Carr. He's looking at a 2-2 count right now. That's
we were ready.
Fouled back. I was gonna catch that if it didn't hit the roof back here.
Jackson Carr's had one of the most interesting hitting seasons. He's had 2 unbelievable series, 3 home runs in one, 2 in the other, and then other than that, you know, it's been meh. So
2-2 here to Carr, fouls that one back, and yeah, like I was saying, Jackson really hits his home runs in bunches. Like when he hits one, he's gonna hit at least maybe 2 or 3 more after that. Pretty impressive. Way too high there from Tenzar.
9th pitch of the at bat coming up.
Full count. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jackson Carr. Out number 1, and Tenzar looking great out there so far tonight for the Stingers.
Well, the league average ERA in the league right now is right around 4.8. So if you can get anything below 4.8, 5 runs per game, that's solid.
Popped up into the air. Tenzar coming on. He makes the grab and gets Alex Ballard out. Great job there from Tenzar. 2 away now in the inning. Nobody on. Zane Phillips will step in. Phillips has provided the only RBI here tonight for the Cyclones, a solo home run back in the first.
Zane has 4 home runs on the year after hitting that one last inning. 360, solid rookie. 15 RBIs for the Cyclones. They took him in first round of this year's draft.
That's fouled off. Strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Phillips. And that is too far inside as Zane Phillips will walk.
And right behind Jackson Carr with 8 home runs is Evan Clugson with 7. Everyone talks about how good he's been pitching, but hitting very solid as well.
First pitch to Clugston is outside. 1-0. Tad high there. 2 balls, no strikes. Goes
nice
around.
pitch.
It was a nice one from Tenzar. You know, Drew Tenzar, like we've said, just doesn't really get very many opportunities to pitch, as Jordan Rice, Peter McNeil are 2 established pitchers in this league. But Tenzar's looking like that third pitcher that they could possibly add to that rotation.
I was going to say, they've also leaned on Barrett Carlo. He's had 2 starts this year. One was a no-hitter. One was a 2 earned run hitter, sitting at 1.5 earned runs on the year for Barrett Carlo. So he'd be their 4th option right now. So that's a loaded pitching lineup.
That's outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks here for Tenzar. Runners on first and second. Still 2 away. Jackson Carr stepping in. Struck out in his last at-bat. Outside there from Tenzar for ball 1.
Ooh, what a nice grab.
Get Jackson Carr out at first. What a play there. No run score for the Cyclones at the bottom of the 2nd inning. We're still tied 1-1. We go to the final inning here in game 1. All right, we're in the final inning here in game number 1. Chris Langstead will lead it off for the Stingers, as that's too far inside for ball 1. And Sean, we do see your question there. Favorite memory in the AWA, as Langstead fouls that one off, and that hits the zone. 2-2 now here to Langstead. I'm going to take a minute to think about that, but the first one that comes to mind would be getting to go to South Carolina last year and playing on ESPN. That was insanely fun as Langstead walks right there. That'll be something that, for me personally, that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. I've always wanted to announce on ESPN, and that was like a dream come true for me. So it was also really fun getting to watch all my good buddies play on ESPN too. So it was a good time.
Yeah, we might have to run it back.
Might have to. Yeah, that was a blast. I definitely watched this year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It might be biased for me, but I think our game was a little bit more fun, if I had to say so. 1-1. Blevins goes around there. Strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And then I would say maybe another memory that I really enjoyed was getting to have media passes at the Mariners game about a month or so ago and interview some Mariners. That was fun. It's a good time.
Say for me, it's got to be the 2020 World Series dub, and that first year on a bang. And now the competition level in 2020 was pretty low. Mark wasn't in the league yet.
No, I was unfortunately not living in Edmonds at that time.
Yeah, he might have had something to say about that 2020 dub, but who knows?
Hey, I did watch the league though in 2020, and I was just sitting there. I used to be like, look, I was like, Mom and Dad, look at this. This looks. I'm like, I gotta get home again. I gotta go play. So fun. Runners on first and second for the Stingers. Stingers trying to take the lead here. They got the go-ahead runner on at second base with only one away here in the inning. Roz now to the plate.
He's very swing happy early. He's got a strikeout, a flyout, and a walk. You know, we really can't judge these rookies too poorly facing Evan, because I know when me and you face Evan, that's we look as clumsy as them sometimes.
Oh yeah,
most of the time.
I can't reiterate enough how difficult it really is to face Evan Cluxton. And what's more impressive about him is it's hard to, one of the toughest things about playing in this league is, as a pitcher, is being that good, throwing that speed, because when you're capped at a certain speed limit, you can't throw the ball as hard as you would like to. And Evan Cluxton having the type of movement that he has while also staying within the means of the speed limit is just impressive, and it's really one of the reasons why he is one of, if not the best pitcher in the AWA.
And a lot of people ask, like, what's, you know, it's not as hard to, well, it's a nice pitch right there. Not as hard to play in the AWA, but from a pitching perspective, I'd argue it's much harder to pitch in this league compared to other leagues where you can just throw. Oh, it's a quick strikeout.
Quick strikeout is Chris Langstead steps in and strikes out on 3 pitches. Back to back to back there from Evan Cluxton. Bases are loaded. The Stingers have the go-ahead run just 45 feet away at third base. Cole Blevins to the plate has the only RBI for the Stingers here tonight. Looks at ball 1.
Evan Cluxton sitting at 67 pitches. Cole Blevins with that signature, I don't know what you want to call it, the hip turn.
Hip turn swing.
It's like kind of Happy Gilmore-y.
Hey, he finds contact sometimes, and it happens in critical situations as well. 1-2 here to Blevins as he rips that foul. Thankfully, we don't have any fans over there tonight. Otherwise, that might have potentially hit one of them.
Yeah, geez, the crowd is rowdy tonight.
Yeah, whew. They need to calm down over there. I can barely hear myself think as Cluxton throws that one too high, 2-2.
Evan Cluxton, heat of the Cy Young race here. Main competition is DJ Oliver, your teammate. DJ set the record this year for lowest ERA at 1.48. And the only thing that's going to come back and bite DJ is he's missed 2 series.
That's low and in the dirt. Full count now here to Cole Blevins. See what Evan does here, and that's ball 4 that walks in the go-ahead run for the Stingers. They take a 1-run lead. In the top of the 3rd, Drew Tenzar to the plate, trying to keep adding on. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Jeremy Langstead walking in the building right now for the Cyclones. Heart and soul of this team got hurt. The right finger. Maybe we'll show a TikTok of what happened to him. But his brother playing here today, and I know it's really hurting him that he can't face him here today.
Popped up into the air. Cluxton underneath it and makes the grab for out number 3. But the Stingers, they take a 1-run lead here in the top of the 3rd. They lead at 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here in game number 1. Alex Ballard will lead it off here in the final inning. Looks at ball 1, and he'll immediately look at ball 2. J-Bone is down there. Jeremy Langstead makes an appearance. I haven't seen him in months, it feels like. Been injured, and he hasn't been showing up as of recently. So good to see Jeremy Langstead back on the field.
Yeah, Jeremy Langstead, that broken finger, he's expected to be sidelined about up to 6 weeks. We're right around that time period now, so maybe they're saving him for the postseason. sweep of the Stingers would secure a first round bye, which means they wouldn't play next week, which could further heal Jeremy.
Ball 4 there to Ballard, and the Cyclones are going to get the tying run on at first base with nobody out. St. Phillips to the plate. Looks at ball 1.
If I'm Drew, I'm telling myself, if we're going to lose this game, it's not going to be via the walk.
And Phillips rips that foul. Strike 1, 2-1 the count. Cyclones have missed Zane Phillips. He's missed their last few series. And Phillips has been a great rookie this year. Has pitched well and has hit well. Fouls that one off. Count is even here at 2-2. And that's fouled off again.
Both Zane and Alex at first have been huge for this rebuilding Cyclones team.
Great
call
this
it that.
season. Popped up into the air. Tenzar calls off Blevins and makes the grab for out number 1. One away in the bottom of the 3rd. Evan Clugston will step in.
The amazing thing here is the Cyclones gave up Dominic DeMiro in the offseason, and they still have a chance of getting the number 1 seed. They actually arguably got better without the MVP frontrunner Dominic DeMiro of the Mojo.
That's crazy to say, too. I mean, you know, the 1-2 punch of Evan Clugston, Dominic DeMiro. I mean, they had already won a World Series together, but losing Dominic DeMiro, you're like, hey, like, is this Cyclones team still going to be able to be as good as they have been? And they answered that question. They really have been. They've been, like you said, Jack, arguably better. Fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's low in the dirt. Evan Clugston, some of you might notice he's sporting some new ink. Got a new tattoo there on his arm. Swing and a miss is Tenzar.
No pitch?
No pitch. 61 miles per hour on the gun. 2-2 stays the count. Clugston going to get another opportunity. Full count now. Hits the zone. Strike 3. Evan Clugston strikes out for out number 2. 2 away now in the bottom of the 3rd. Jackson Carr is going to step in for the Cyclones.
Down to their final out. Anything can happen in wiffle ball.
First pitch outside, ball 1. 1-0. Ground ball over to Langston at 3rd. He's not going to have a play. Be an infield single for Carr. And the tying run now is at 2nd. Go-ahead run on at 1st. Or winning run on at 1st, I should say.
Alex Ballard, 1 for 3 at the plate here today with a K, a single, and a flyout.
First pitch to Ballard is in there. Strike 1. And he fouls that one into the backstop for strike 2. Ripped up the middle over to Roz now and going home, and
did he miss? He missed the backstop. Yeah. It's got to hit the backstop.
And he misses the backstop.
Yeah, you get one
Tenzar
back.
had the opportunity to potentially win the game for the Stingers. Unfortunately, he misses the backstop, and the run will score. 2-2. Runners are awarded an extra bag as well because Tenzar threw it out of play. As the count is 0-1, we had a no pitch there on the first pitch to Phillips. It did not count. And that's high for ball 1.
That's tough there. They almost won the game by a foot.
That hits Zane Phillips in the face. Ball 2, 2-1. Popped up into the air. Tenzar coming on. He makes the grab for out number 3, but the Cyclones are able to tie it 2-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. We're going to extra innings here in game 1. Going to the top of the 4th. Rosnow goes around. First pitch, strike 1. He looks at ball 1 there, 1-1. That'll hit Rosnow. 2-1 the count.
Looks extra sorty in those hacks.
And this is a tough battle for Rosnow as he strikes out.
You know who's happy about it going to extras? The man on the mound right there trying to chase history. Another inning of work definitely can help him. He's up to 109 Ks, 7 away.
You know, it's been pretty incredible how many extra inning games we've seen in the AWA in the last few weeks. Going into another extra inning game, we saw extra innings between the Enforcers and the Nighthawks just on Monday, as Langsted fouls that one off. The count is now 2-1. Inside ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike here to Chris Langsted, the brother of Jeremy Langsted. Jeremy Langsted not playing tonight for the Cyclones, but Chris Langsted is filling in for this Stinger squad. Again, the Stingers without Peter McNeil, Jordan Rice, and Barrett Carlo tonight. Inside ball 4, great at bat there from Langsted.
That's how you do it.
And the Stingers get the go-ahead run on at first base.
Chris Langsted, you know, in situations like that, you got to read it, get on base. That's how you win.
Wonderful job there from Langsted as Blevins now does well to look at ball 1. Does not go around there. 2-0 is the count. Swing and a miss from Blevins. 2-1. Inside ball 3. 3-1. The go-ahead run on at first, 1 away in extra innings. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Inside ball 4, Cole Blevins works a walk. Back-to-back walks for the Stingers. Now runners on first and second. That brings the go-ahead run into scoring position now for Drew Tenzar.
And for a man who's been very good on the mound, Evan Clugston, for some reason he's struggled against teams that aren't normally power hitters.
3-0 here to Tenzar as he is able to foul that one off.
Gotta love a good 3-0 hack.
3-1 now the count. That's low and in the dirt. Ball 4. That's 3 consecutive walks for Evan Clugston. The bases are now loaded for the Stingers. Only 1 out in the inning. Bailey Rosnow will come up to the plate. He'll have an opportunity to try and drive in his first run in the AWA. Clugston starts him off strike 1.
Pretty squirmish there.
That hits him for ball 2. And that's fouled back into the zone. Count is now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Knuckleball behind him. It's a full count now to Rosnow. A walk here would bring in the go-ahead run. Inside ball 4, and that is 4 consecutive walks for Clugston. And the Stingers go up by a run. It's now 3-2. Stingers lead it. Bases are still loaded, and there's still only 1 out in the inning. Chris Langstead, I'm telling you, he might be sporting the coolest shirt we have seen in the AWA. Star Wars,
like his brother.
I love that.
Whoa.
That's ripped high and deep out to center, but unfortunately right to Ballard. What a job there from Chris Langstead, able to make contact. He had a nice line drive out there.
Cole Blevins, the veteran over at 30, took off right away. Might have been tough even if he tagged.
That's an unfortunate thing to happen right there for the Stingers. Good contact from Langstead, just right at Alex Ballard. That's inside ball 2. 2-0 here to Cole Blevins. Cole Blevins, RBI single for him in his first at-bat of the ball game. Looking at a 3-0 count. And he fouls that one off. Strike 1.
Evan Clugston in his earlier days, this is where it cost him before he was the Cy Young candidate that he is today.
That's fouled off from Blevins. Full count, bases loaded, 2 away. Stingers with a 3-2 lead here in extras. Pitch from Clugston. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cole Blevins. But the Stingers are able to take a 1-run lead going into the bottom of the 4th. We'll see if they can close this one out.
Well, party makes you think if Stingers are making it this close against a potential 1 seed, maybe they just continue to run this lineup out there every week.
They haven't been playing too bad here tonight as Clugston goes around there. Strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tenzar has pitched pretty well so far here tonight. Ground ball right back to Tenzar on the mound, and Tenzar just takes it himself, steps on first, and gets the out on Evan Clugston. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Didn't even want to test it there, just knew if he runs on that bag, he'll get the out.
Jackson Carr steps in. He'll look at ball 1. Ground ball to the other side, and Jackson Carr has just been taking advantage of that other side of the field. Stingers kind of shading and playing him pull side, but Jackson Carr keeps going to the opposite field and getting on. Runner on first, the tying run on for the Cyclones. Alex Ballard to the plate. He fouls that one back into the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count.
Alex Ballard 2 for 4 in today's game with 2 singles.
Hits the zone. Great pitch. That's a no pitch. Unfortunately, 61 miles per hour, 2-1 will remain the count. That's outside ball 3. Low and in the dirt, ball 4. And the Cyclones move the tying run into scoring position over at second base, and they have the winning run on at first. Zane Phillips is going to step up to the plate for the Cyclones.
Had that home run to get this game started off all the way back in the 1st.
Fouls the first pitch off. That's ripped high and deep, and it'll be foul. Zane Phillips absolutely destroyed that ball.
He missed
Foul.
it by a foot.
And that's Tad outside there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hits Phillips' foot there. 2-2 the count. Does well to hold off. Full count now to Phillips.
Big at bat right here.
Pitch from Tenzar is outside, and the bases are now loaded for the Cyclones. Evan Clugston is going to step in, ground it out in his first at-bat of the inning.
The fielders are playing very deep.
Tying run is just 45 feet away at third. Popped up into the air. Tenzar right underneath it. He makes the grab for out number 2, 2 away. And this is a nail biter right now between the Stingers and the Cyclones. We're in extra innings, bases loaded, 2 outs. Tying run on at third, winning run on at second. Jackson Carr up to the plate. Looks at ball 1. That's outside for ball 2, 2-0. Just high there, ball 3, and Jackson Carr does not want to swing if he doesn't have to. Swing and a miss. Great pitch there from Tenzar. 3-1 the count. Hits the top of the zone. Full count now to Carr. Full count, bases loaded, 2 away. Pitch from Tenzar is low and inside, and that's going to walk in the tying run for the Cyclones. It's now 3-3 here in extras.
Didn't look like he was trying to swing there. Just wanted to tie it up, and unfortunately for the Stingers, missed by an inch. Just like last inning.
I don't think he swung one time in that at bat, but hey, it worked out for them.
1 foul ball.
1-0 here to Ballard. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. Outside ball 2. Nicks the outside part of the zone. Great pitch from Tenzar. 2-2 the count. Just a tad outside there. Full count, bases loaded, 2 away. The winning run on at third. The pitch from Tenzar. Hits the zone. Strike 3. Alex Ballard strikes out looking. What a pitch from Drew Tenzar. We're going to the top of the 5th inning. This Stingers team has no quit in them. They continue to force extras. What a job from the Stingers and the Cyclones. This has been a great game. We're on the top of the 5th. Drew Tenzar leads it off, facing Evan Clugston. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. Another swing and a miss there, and Clugston now way ahead at 0-2. Low and in the dirt, ball 1.
It's been one of the most improbable games all year.
Swing and a miss. Tenzar strikes out for out number 1, 1 away. In the top of the 5th. We got Bailey Roz now to the plate for the Stingers.
Bailey has walked 3 times today, but gotten out 3 times, 2 Ks and a fly out.
Hits the zone. Great pitch there from Clugston, 1-1. Goes around there, strike 2. And that's outside. Count is even at 2-2. Nobody on, 1 away. Top of the 5th.
Evan Clugston has increased his strikeout total all the way to 111. Needs 5.
Swing and a miss. Rosnow strikes out for out number 2. 2 away in the top of the 5th. Couple of great strikeouts there from Clugston. Up to the plate is Chris Langstead. Langstead lined out in his last at-bat. A good hard hit out to Alex Ballard. Unfortunately, just right to him. 1-0 here to Langstead. That's just a tad high there. 2-0. That was a nice sinker from Clugston. 2-1.
You know, Chris has got a good strategy here. You know, he's taking that one hack per at-bat. If he doesn't make any contact with it, he'll just sit back.
Inside, ball 4. And the Stingers get the go-ahead run on at first base.
Cole Blevins, 1 for 4. Whew. Just fouled that out of play.
0-1 here to Blevins, and he takes a big cut there. 0-2 the count. Holds off. Ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. See the stats there for Blevins, hitting just 89, below a buck this year. 3 RBIs, make it 4 RBIs now. Has an RBI single earlier in this game.
He's up to 100 now.
Oh, he's up to 100. There you go. Congratulations to Cole Blevins. There we go, baby. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cole Blevins. And Evan Clugston does well to give up no runs there. Still tied 3-3. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in game 1. Zane Phillips will lead it off. He swings at the first pitch for strike 1. Another swing and a miss there. 0-2 is the count.
Ooh, close. Toughest part about all this is the Stingers had 2 opportunities to win it.
Phillips swings and misses. Strike 3. What a sequence of pitches there for Drew Tenzar. 1 away.
In the bottom of the 3rd, they had a shot. Unfortunately, the throw home was wide by just a foot. Bottom of the 4th, missed a pitch inside by an inch. Here we are in the bottom of the 5th.
Evan Clugston will look at ball 1 here from Tenzar. That hits the zone. 1-1. Ground ball over past Tenzar. He dives and is not going to have the play. That was a great effort there from Tenzar. There was just so much spin on that ground ball. It spun away from Tenzar, and Clugston will reach on the infield single. Cyclones get the winning run on at first. And out to the plate is Jackson Carr. Fouls the first pitch off.
Hit no man's land right there. The second baseman playing deep, Bailey Rosenow.
In there for strike 2. 0-2 now to Carr. Hits the zone. 63 miles per hour. No pitch. 0-2 stays the count. Swing and a miss. Jackson Carr strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 away. Alex Ballard is going to step in.
Now the 3rd out is always the hardest out to get. So Drew can't take anything off.
First pitch here to Ballard is inside. Ball 1. And that is just a tad high for ball 2. 2-0. Ball 3. 3-0 here to Ballard. Ground ball right back to Tenzar on the mound. He flips to Cole at first, and they're able to get the third and final out on Ballard. The Stingers force a 6th inning here in game 1. We're going to the top of the 6th, still tied 3-3.
You guys want to play.
You guys just need one win.
I'm not going down easy.
Drew Tenzar leads it off, facing Evan Clugston. That's ripped high and deep, and it's going to stay in the yard. Jackson Carr makes the grab for out number 1. Drew Tenzar
Just missed that.
just missed that one. Would have been an opposite field go-ahead home run, but instead it's a pop out for out number 1. Bailey Rosnow to the plate. Does well to hold off. Ball 1. Inside for ball 2. 2-0. That's a nice pitch there from Evan Clugston. 2-1. And it was mentioned during the middle of the innings, Clugston's just 4 strikeouts away from having the most strikeouts ever in a single AWA season. Outside, ball 4. Rosnow does well to work a walk. And the Stingers get a runner on first with 1 out. That would be the go-ahead run for the Stingers on at first. We're going to have Chris Langstead coming up to the plate.
Chris Langstead 0 for 3 with 4 walks.
Hits the zone. Strike 1.
Ooh.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. 0-2 here to Langstead. Swing and a miss for strike 3. A 3-pitch strikeout to Langstead for out number 2. 2 away. Cole Blevins stepping in with the go-ahead run on at first.
What do we?
Ground ball right back to Evan Clugston on the mound. He takes his time, throws to first, and gets the out on Blevins. No run score here in the top of the 6th for the Stingers. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still tied, 3-3.
You need.
That is ripped past Langstead into left center field. It'll be a single for Zane Phillips. And the Cyclones get the winning run on just like that here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Evan Clugston will step in. Popped up into the air. Cole Blevins right underneath it. He makes the grab for out number 1. Great play there from Blevins.
Almost had a play there. Probably smart he didn't throw it there because it, was doable. But if you miss, then you got to run it over in scoring position at second.
And that is fouled off from Carr for strike 1. Crazy Beeps, we see your question, longest game in AWA history. It was right around, I think, an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes. It was 2 years ago in the playoffs between the Nighthawks and the Enforcers, and it got so dark. This was before we had lights. We could barely even finish the game. It was crazy. Absolute madness. The Nighthawks ended up winning that game. Outside, ball 4, Jackson Carr will walk, and that moves the winning run into scoring position now for the Cyclones.
Drew Tenzar sitting at a comfortable 131 pitches thrown so far in 6 innings. little bit different.
It's crazy because at the end of this thing, we will have played 2 wiffle ball games in just game 1. Crazy part, we still have 2 more games after this.
My goodness.
2-0 here to Ballard.
This is starting to look like a lights-on kind of day. Already 7 o'clock here.
3-0 to Ballard. And that's a 4-pitch walk. Bases now loaded for the Cyclones. Winning run on at third. And Zane Phillips stepping up to the plate. Had that solo home run in his first at-bat of the game. Ripped, just foul down the third base side, just nearly missing the short foul pole over there. It's just a long foul ball, strike 1. Ground ball down the third base line. Foul ball, hit the bushes. Zane Phillips coming back.
I was going to say, if Zane hit that foul pole right there, he had a walk-off early in the year off of it. We might have to rename it instead of Pesky's pole, the Phillips pole.
Yeah, the Phillips pole. 0-2, bases loaded. The pitch from Tenzar. Swing and a miss, and down goes Zane Phillips. What a job there from Tenzar, able to get the out on Phillips. 2 away now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bases are still loaded. Evan Clugston is going to step in. Pitch from Tenzar is just high. Ball 1. Popped up into the air. It's going to stay in the yard. Rosnell makes the grab, and we're going to the top of the 7th inning here in game 1. There is no quit between this new Stingers team and the Cyclones. The Stingers without Peter McNeil, Jordan Rice, and Barrett Carlo, and they have forced us into a 7th inning here in game 1 against the Central Cyclones, who are fighting for that first seed. Drew Tenzar is going to lead it off here in the top of the 7th. Popped up into the air. Phillips coming on, and he bobbles it, but makes the grab in foul territory. It's the first out here in the top of the 7th.
See, the Stingers are getting away from their ability where they scored runs, and that's being patient. A lot of swings here later in the game. They want to get their hits. Oh, that's
hit from Rosnow. Fair ball. That'll be a single, and that's Rosnow's first hit in the AWA. Congratulations to Bailey Rosnow. Save that ball. Great job there from Rosnow, and the Stingers are going to get the go-ahead run on at first. Chris Langstead to the plate.
Chris is swing happy now.
It's fouled back into the zone.
Whoa!
That's ripped high and deep. That might have a chance. It's going to stay in the yard as Alex Ballard makes the grab. That was close. Chris Langstead, he's had some good hits here tonight. Just barely misses that one. 2 away, runner on first now for Cole Blevins. Looks at ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's outside for ball 2. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 now here to Blevins. Big swing and a miss at the high. Slider from Clugston. Full count. 2 away. Go ahead run on at first. Nicks the top part of the zone. Strike 3. What a pitch there from Evan Clugston. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Still tied 3-3.
I felt so much energy when Chris hit that. I did too. I thought that was out. I was
Jackson Carr leads it off for the Cyclones, looks at strike one and immediately looks at strike two, 0-2. Just high there from Tenzar, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is ripped over past Langstead off the wall, and Jackson Carr just continues to go the opposite way here against Tenzar. He continues to get singles and getting on for this Cyclones team. Winning run on at first for the Cyclones. Alex Ballard to the plate. Strike one.
I was going to say, both teams kind of switched up their hitting philosophy later in the game. Stingers swinging way more. Cyclones a little more patient later in the game.
1-2 here to Ballard. And that's ripped high and deep. That might have a chance as Roz now not able to make the grab, and Tenzar was right there at second to try to get the force out on Carr, but he was not able to hold on. Everybody's safe, and there's now runners at first and second, nobody out.
It's tough. They had 2 chances there to get the play. Unfortunately, couldn't.
Outside here to Zane Phillips. Phillips just nearly missed a walk-off 3-run home run last inning. And he'll do it now. Zane Phillips, walk-off 3-run home run ends this Game 1 marathon. And the Cyclones take Game 1. Final score 6-3. What a game between these two teams. The Cyclones and the Stingers go 7 innings in Game 1, but it's the Cyclones who come out on top 6-3. Unbelievable job. We are going to make sure that we plug in the lineups here for Game 2. We'll have Game 2 started shortly. We will be back in a second for the start of Game 2.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm same line.
Jack,
There's no way I can rest. The arm's gonna get so tight.
Game that's been played.
might have a good chance to win.
Oh, dang.
I think you should play new Game 3.
You want me to pitch Game 3?
No, whatever you want to do. Yeah. This is your team now.
What do you guys want? Well, who else can throw?
Your team. Don't let us in. I think you should just do 2.
I'll just go 2.
We just call this. Well, who's gonna go 3?
We'll piece it together. Hopefully we'll win this one, and then we'll piece together Game 3.
I would say you should throw someone in there, and then Game 3 you go all on the line, final game of the year.
Okay. Do you think you can throw strikes? All right. Bailey's pitching.
What position? Put you in third.
Put me at second or middle.
Who? Christian? Oh, Christian.
Me at middle. Yeah.
Drew Tenzar will lead it off here for the start of Game 2. Looks at ball 1, and he immediately looks at ball 2. You know, what a Game 1. That was probably one of the more entertaining games we've had in the AWA this season, and the Stingers have a ton of fight in them right now. This new look Stingers team, they're without their main core of Peter McNeil, Jordan Rice, and Barrett Carlo, as Drew Tenzar walks to lead off this ball game. Runner on first for the Stingers. Now up to the plate is Bailey Rosnow.
Cole, do you want to pitch or do you want Bailey to pitch?
I don't care.
Been pretty fun
I think Bailey's a dog.
so far here between the Stingers and the Cyclones. Rosnow goes around
No pitch.
there. Oh, it's a no pitch. Too fast on the gun. 1-0 is the count inside ball 2.
Evan Clugston chasing history right now. He needs 2 to tie the single season strikeout record, 3 to break it. Very doable. I don't think he's pitched one game this year under 3 strikeouts. But this Stingers team, they're electric.
Unbelievable. It's been a ton of fight between these two teams as Roz now looking at a 3-0 count, and that's inside for ball 4. Evan Clugston's going to start this game off with back-to-back walks. Runners on first and second for the Stingers. Cole Blevins, or excuse me, Chris Langstead is going to step in. Langstead just barely missed a home run back in the 7th inning of game 1 as he swings and misses there for strike 1.
That sinker is devastating on rookies.
That's just high there, 2-1. And to the chat, I think somebody may have asked a while ago, I apologize for missing this question, how many, or what was the most innings in an AWA game? I believe it was 8, and that would have been 2 seasons ago in the playoffs between the Nighthawks and the Enforcers. Again, the Nighthawks came out on top of that one. Swing and a miss there from Langstead, full count. Outside, ball 4, and Langstead is going to walk. Bases are loaded for the Stingers, and Evan Clugston has walked every batter he's faced so far in this game number 2. Cole Blevins will step up to the plate.
Clip it on your shirt.
Full count now, 2, or sorry.
0-1, yeah. We just
there's been so much happening, so much happening. 0-1 here to Blevins. Does not go there.
Almost fouled that off, though, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. Hits the zone. Strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Blevins. Slider gets Blevins to go around strike.
No pitch, 61.
No, 61, and Cole Blevins going to have another opportunity here, 1-2. Inside, ball 2, even count here at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Blevins strikes out for out number 1, 1 away. Drew Tenzar coming to the plate. I have like a level 80 something. I needed a cape. I have the fire making cape because I did a bunch of winter toe. I literally grinded all weekend. Got it.
And with that strikeout, Evan Clugston has tied the record. So I had the amount wrong. He's got 116 strikeouts right now, which ties the single season record. Needs 1 more to break it.
We might be witnessing history here tonight, and with how good Evan Clugston is, I'd find it hard to believe to have him not get another strikeout here in this game. 1-2. Just inside there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and there it is. The 117th strikeout for Evan Clugston this season. He breaks the single season strikeout record. Congratulations to Evan Clugston. Just continues to add to that AWA resume. That's another record for Evan Clugston.
Yeah.
2 away here in the top of the first. Roz now will look at ball 1.
That 7-inning game definitely helped him there get those strikeouts, but I think he would have done it regardless.
2-1 to Roz now. As that's inside ball 3.
$117 strikeouts in 9 innings and 9 games and counting is absurd. If you think about it, that's 18 games he's allowed to pitch, 18 times 3, whatever that is. Ridiculous.
Outside ball 4, and the Stingers will strike first here again in game number 2. They take a 1-0 lead. Bases are still loaded, and Chris Langsted will step in. He will look at ball 1. Big swing and a miss there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another swing and a miss, and he's looking at a 1-2 count. Langsted had a couple of good hits last game. They unfortunately didn't actually fall for hits, but just barely missed a home run in the 7th inning of game 1, which would have given the Stingers the lead. That's inside ball 2, 2-2. Ball 4, and another run will come in for the Stingers. They now lead it 2-0 here in the top of the first. We're going to take a pause here. There's a few technical difficulties going on. The bases are loaded. Stingers lead it 2-0 here in the top of the first. We will be back very shortly working on these technical issues. The issue has been resolved, and we're going to get this game back underway. Stingers lead it 2-0 here in the top of the first. Cole Blevins to the plate.
Cole William Blevins.
Cole Blevins does have an RBI single.
Ooh.
Here tonight. It came in his first at-bat of game 1. He looks at ball 2 there, 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Blevins. And that is high there. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk, and another run scores for the Stingers. They now lead it 3-0. In the top of the first.
Yeah, right after he gets the strikeout record, maybe that's where his mind was at. He's a little wild here in this inning.
Tenzar will look at ball 1.
It'll be tough to give up Cy Young, I think, with that record.
62, no pitch there. 1-0. Outside ball 2. 2-0 here to Tenzar. Ground ball up the middle over to Alex Ballard. He fields it cleanly and steps on second for out number 3. But the Stingers score 3 runs in the top of the first. They lead at 3-0. We go to the bottom of the first inning.
We're good now.
1-0 here to Ballard, and that hits the zone. Strike 1, 1-1.
Drew Tenzar pitched 150 pitches in that 7-inning game. He's right back out there. Might be pushing 300 here today.
1-2 to Ballard. As that is fouled back, we make the grab. Great job, Jack.
Yep, I totally got it.
Lone in the dirt, even here, 2-2. Full count to Ballard. We got to reload. Tenzar on balls.
Alex Ballard in his rookie year, just under 300 at 293, but he's got 4 home runs.
Ball 4 as Ballard will walk. Cyclones get a runner on first for Zane Phillips.
Zane Phillips sneakily climbing up that home run leaderboard. He's got 5 now, 2 in last game. Trying to chase teammates Evan Clugson with 7 and Jackson Carr with 8.
Hi there, 2-1 is the count.
Leads the league in walk-off home runs with 2.
That's fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And some of you may be wondering, you're like, hey, why are there a bunch of tools over there to the left side of the screen?
No, not the players.
Hey, those are Milwaukee Tools, the official groundskeeper of the AWA. If you have any tool needs, make sure you go to the store and buy Milwaukee. And Zane Phillips will walk there. Runners on first and second for the Cyclones.
Might be time for both pitchers, not just Drew Tenzar, to employ that lob pitch. Just got to get balls in play. I know that he's playing with some rookie defenders out there, but it's better to get the ball in play than to walk batters in.
1-0 as that's popped up into the air. Tenzar makes the grab for out number 1. 1 away. Jackson Carr steps up to the plate. And if I were the Stingers, I would definitely not play Jackson Carr pull side, as he has been hitting it to the opposite field all day long. And there's Rosnow making the decision to go to the other side of second base. Good decision there. 3-0 is the count.
Just analytics.
Ground ball.
Oh, right when we say it.
You know, that's you know, hey, great job to Jackson Carr. goes right to the spot that Rosnow moved from.
Maybe he's just that guy. Just knows where to hit it.
I think Jackson Carr is just that good of a player.
Well, he did say he wanted 4 home runs today. He's got 0 so far. He's got to start hitting some if he wants to catch Jake Oliver with 12.
Bases loaded. Alex Ballard up to the plate, 1-0. And that's ripped up into the air. Rosnow makes the grab, and Zane Phillips acted like he was going to tag up, but stays put at third. 2 away.
You know, I don't think Bailey was going to go home there. I don't know if he knew. So, might have gotten away with one there.
I think it might have been just a cautious move there from Zane. He's like, hey, you know, we got bases loaded. I'm coming up to the plate.
Need those extra ribbies.
Yeah. Trying to pad the stats. We see what you're doing, Zane Phillips. We see what you're doing. 3-0. Hits the zone. Good pitch there from Tenzar.
Zane Phillips, one of those guys that the enforcers tried to sweep. He's friends with Drew Williams, Chase Winkler. He said not so fast. He's got to go to a team that needs him a little more than the enforcers.
Could you imagine if
it was actually
the enforcers would have gotten Zane Phillips? Could you imagine?
It was your doing saying, nope, I'm not gonna let that happen.
I don't think a lot of people in the league understood how good of a baseball player Zane Phillips was. This man played college baseball. He's a very good athlete. Full count. And that will walk in a run for the Cyclones. 3-1, the score. But yeah, Zane Phillips, dude's good.
Definitely in that Rookie of the Year conversation. I know Drew Gradwell's running away with it this year, but other than Drew, there's been a lot of solid rookies this year.
Hits the top part of the zone. Strike one here to Evan Clugston. And that's high for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 is the count here to Evan Clugston. Bases loaded, 2 away. Stingers with a 2-run lead as that is hit up into the air. Blevins makes the grab for out number 3. What a play there from Cole Blevins.
Huge
But
play.
the Cyclones, they get a run across. Stingers still lead at 3-1. We go to the top of the second inning here in game number 2.
Hey, Jack. Brock said you were going to buy him a new
Sorry, I was just cracking a joke.
Ooh, that's not what you want to see right there.
Swing and a miss there from Bailey Rose now.
There we go.
Been saying
100th time's the try.
Been saying it wrong this whole time. Rose now.
Think of the emojis.
The craziest part is Bailey was telling me before the game exactly how it was pronounced, and I'm still getting it wrong. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rose now.
Oh.
Fouled off.
He does have his first career hit, which is always the toughest.
Big congratulations to Rose now. And he got it off of Evan Clugston. It's not an easy thing to do. 2-2. Side there, full count to Rose now. Outside ball 4. What an at-bat from Rose now. Gets on, works a walk. Runner on first here in the top of the second. I had bottom here. What am I doing, guys? Chris Langsted looks at ball 1.
Oh boy.
Swing and a miss there. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2.
Okay.
And that's popped up into the air right back to Evan Clugston for out number 1. 1 away. Cole Blevins going to step in.
Cole Blevins in the fight for batting over 100. He's at .94 right now.
Come on, Cole. I believe in you. Fouls that one off. You can get that batting average up to 100. Inside ball 1, 1-1.
I would say a little less of a bucket step, but Alex Harden, second in the league in home runs, signature bucket step.
Do you know Harden's average off the top of your head?
375.
Impressive. 3-1 now to Blevins. Hits the zone, a nice riser from Evan Clugston. Count is full. Stingers trying to add on to this 2-run lead that they have here in the top of the second inning. Inside ball 4. What an at-bat there from Cole Blevins. Works a walk. That's now back-to-back walks for Evan Clugston. Started off here in the top of the second. Tenzar steps up to the plate.
Evan Clugston already has 8 walks in this game. And kind of like most teams, behind Evan, I mean, they do have Zane, but they really need Evan to start to figure it out, get him ready for the playoffs.
1-1 here at Tenzar. Inside ball 2. 2-1. That's ripped high and deep to the opposite field, but Jackson Carr makes the grab for out number 2. 2 away. And now up to the plate is Rose now.
There we go.
getting it. Getting it. Pitch behind Rose now. Ball 1. And that is inside ball 2. 2-0. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Rose now. Runners on first and second, 2 away. And that is ball 4. Rose now with the walk. Bases loaded here in the inning. For the Stingers, up to the plate is Chris Langstead.
Wonder how many runs the Stingers need to make it safe for them. I mean, it seemed like every 3 runs wasn't enough last game.
First pitch hits Langstead. Ball 1. That's ball 2. 2-0 here to Langstead.
Evan's laughing about something. It's not even close.
3-0 to Chris Langstead. A walk would bring in another run for this Stinger squad. Riser nicks the zone. Strike 1.
Might be time to start loosening up the bullpen.
Hits the zone. Full count now here to Langstead. Pitch from Clugston. Ground ball over to Zane Phillips at first. Langstead is going to be out at first. No run score for the Stingers in the top of the second. They lead it 3-1. We go to the bottom of the second inning here in game 2.
Fun fact about Chris Langstead, he had the record for the shortest home run in AWA history. You're going to have to go back to the archives. It was the first video, I think, on our YouTube channel, the 2020 preseason Enforcers Wolfpack, I want to say. And it was a wall scraper when the fences were in line with the trees that are padded up right now. Hit the top of the yellow.
Good times, good times. 1-0 here to Jackson Carr. Popped up into the air. Behind home plate, foul. 1-1. Sean, we saw your question. Mark and Jack, any possible expansion next season? We're always talking about it, but it's not looking likely right now. 3-1 to Jackson Carr. But that could change. We don't know.
I think we might do some, that's a walk right there for Jackson. We might do some sort of prospect showcase, see what kind of players we get, and if we can kind of weed out some of the players that haven't produced as much as we've thought this year, then maybe we can start looking at adding new teams.
I think, yeah. Well, I think it all just kind of depends on player availability and who we have. And that is ripped to the wall from Ballard. Jackson Carr goes first to third on the single. Runners at the corners. Now for the Cyclones. Still nobody out in the inning. Zane Phillips will step in. Ball 1 to him.
Almost hit the bat right there.
Low and in the dirt, ball 2, 2-0. Inside, ball 3, 3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk there to Zane Phillips. Bases are loaded for the Cyclones. Nobody out.
Drew's got to figure it out here. Both pitchers, Evan and Drew, have had issues with the walk today. Evan, 9 walks so far. Drew, 5 walks. Got to get out of this inning still with no outs.
Swing and a miss there from Clugston, 0-1. Another swing and a miss there, 0-2. Holds off, ball 1.
Looking at 45 pitches in this game through 157 last game. So we're already over the 200 on the day.
Swing and a miss, and Evan Clugston does not strike out because it was too fast. 1-2. fouled off.
Surprising, that pitch did not look like it went over the limit. I think it might have been, you know, those rise balls rising right at the radar gun usually pick up hot.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Evan Clugston for out number 1. 1 away. In the bottom of the second inning, bases are still loaded.
Jackson Carr's got some of that flow. Jackson, we doing the Buzz purple haircut again?
No, I'm going full mullet pretty soon.
Nice.
Full mullet. All right, all right. I respect that. Full mullet. Fouled off by Carr. And there was a question in the chat, how old do you have to be to join the league? We get this question a lot. And I think the answer to this is it just really depends. It really depends. I think the youngest player we've had is 17 years old. That would have been Evan Clugston way back when. Maybe he was 16. Was he 16? Ground ball over to Rose now. Not able to get the out on Clugston at second, and 2 runs are going to score. The Cyclones have tied it up 3-3 here in the bottom of the second inning.
It's tough. You got your rookie fielder out there trying to make a play. Just a little bit wide right there. 2 runs come across for Jackson Carr, who's been clutch today.
Ballard to the plate. He'll look at ball 1. 1-0. Ground ball over to Tenzar. He looks the runner back, tags out Ballard, but a run is going to score, and Carr will move on over to third base. Cyclones take the lead. They lead at 4-3 in the bottom of the second. Pitch to Phillips. Low for ball 1. Swing and a miss there. That's outside. 3-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Full count now here to Zane Phillips.
Got to applaud Zane here today. Really looking to swing.
Ball 4. Phillips will walk.
Zane Phillips, the presumptive Game 3 starter for the Cyclones. For the Stingers, we're not totally sure yet. I think it might be Bailey. Might be Cole. Could be Chris. None of them have pitched before. Cole has kind of, yeah, Chris, according to inside sources, his brother, he's recovering from Tommy John. I don't remember when that took place, but why they have him at shortstop, I don't know. It's like a, oh.
Don't remember when that took place. He's playing RuneScape. Got up too quickly.
It happened.
After he died PKing. 2-2. Popped up into the air. Rose now coming. Oh. Wow. Drew Tenzar making the over-the-shoulder grab for out number 3. The Cyclones take the lead. They lead at 4-3. We go to the final inning here in Game 2. Cole Blevins to the plate for the Stingers. He'll look at ball 1. Stingers chasing a run here. Trying to potentially force extra innings, or at least the bottom of the third. It's Blevins. Big swing and a miss there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Cole Blevins strikes out for out number 1, 1 away in the top of the 3rd. Drew Tenzar will step in. Tenzar has fought here tonight. He has pitched pretty well here against the Cyclones, who are trying to get the first seed in the AWA, and Tenzar is doing everything he possibly can to battle for this Cyclones team. He'll look at ball 1. 1-0. Ground ball over to Alex Ballard at second. He flips to Zane Phillips at first, and they get the out on Tenzar. 2 away in the top of the 3rd. And up to the plate is Rose now. Bailey Rose now for the Stingers.
4 walks today. I was going to say it's been a while between strikeouts for Evan. That was finally his 118th strikeout on the year, further adding to that lead.
Rose now will look at ball 1. And he will look at ball 2. 2-0.
The fate of the 1 seed hangs in the balance here. If they can't get it done here for the Stingers, it'll go into game 3. And that's going to have to be the biggest miracle of them all.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and that is way too high there for ball 3. Ball 4, and Rose now works another walk. He's been great here tonight working counts against Evan Clugston and continues to get on base. Chris Langstead is going to step up to the plate for the Stingers. Swing and a miss from Langstead. He's also rocking the mic.
Oh, boy.
Chris Langstead's a funny guy. I'm sure we're going to get some great
Chris is
content out of him.
He's just swinging crazy right now.
0-2 is the count.
Those risers will do it to you.
Chris Langstead has made contact on some balls today. Hasn't been the luckiest. See what he can do here. Looks at ball 1. 1-2. It's high for ball 2. Even is the count. 2-2 here to Chris Langstead. Ground ball fouled off down the first base line. 2-2 stays the count. Outside. Full count now to Langstead. Stingers are down to their final out, but they have the tying run on at first. Hits the zone, strike 3, down goes Chris Langstead, and the Cyclones, they win game 2, final score 4-3, and they win the series here against the Stingers. We're going to go into game 3. Cyclones trying to complete the sweep and take the #1 seed in the playoffs, which would award them with a first-round bye. And the Stingers are trying to avoid this sweep and spoil the party for the Cyclones. We're going to get game number 3 started here shortly. Stingers trying to figure out who they might have pitch in game number 3. And the Cyclones will do the same thing. They will most likely go with Zane Phillips, who will be back shortly for pitch number 1 of game 3.
All right, maybe we give Cole. Let's give Cole. All right. Bailey's beat out. Bailey's beat out. He threw 4 behind the left-handed hitter. Yeah, that's bad. He threw 4 behind. Mike, you went just into the bushes almost. So that's his speed? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. That's gonna be good. Oh, that's good. Cool pitcher.
Ball over to Alex Ballard at second, and Drew Tenzar. It's a infield single to start this game number 3 off. Again, if the Cyclones win game 3 and sweep the Stingers, they will take the #1 seed in the playoffs.
And, you know, they were able to get 3 and 4 runs off of Evan Cluxton, arguably the best pitcher in the league. So Zane Phillips, their #2. We'll see what kind of production they can get against him.
Ball 4 as Bailey Rose now just continues to work walks here for the Stingers. Just continues to get on base. What a job for the rookie in his debut. Chris Langstead to the plate. Langstead looks at ball 1. And Langstead looks at a quick ball 2. 2-0 here to Langstead.
Looking at Zane Phillips this year pitching-wise, he's pitched very well. He's got a 3.67 ERA, but before last week, it was all the way down to around low 3s, 3.10. So he got roughed up a little bit in his last start. Hopefully he can figure it out here.
Ball 3 here to Langstead. And that misses high for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Chris Langstead. Bases are loaded for the Stingers. Cole Blevins stepping up to the plate. Fouls that one off. Strike 1.
That's
ground ball will be foul as it does not go past the bunt line out there in front of home plate. 0-2.
Always scary when that ball starts to roll. You got to just sprint over to first and hope it doesn't go past that line.
In the dirt, ball 1, 1-2. And that is fouled off from Blevins. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Way outside there from Phillips. And bases loaded here for the Stingers. The Stingers have scored the first run in every game here so far this series. Got another opportunity to score the first run here in game 3.
Yeah, that was not on my bingo card.
Wasn't on mine either. But this Stingers team has some fight, I will tell you that.
Full count.
Full count here to Blevins is too high, and the Stingers are going to score first again here in this game 3. 1-0 Stingers, bases loaded, nobody out. Drew Tenzar coming up to the plate.
Well, where Zane Phillips has had issues, it's been in that first inning. See if we can get out of it here.
2-0. Now to Tenzar. And that's popped up into the air. And Evan Cluxton makes the grab in foul territory. Unfortunate there for Tenzar. I think he wishes he had that one back. Swung in a ball and fouled out into foul territory.
Bailey Rose now didn't tag there. Would have been tough to do so anyways.
Rose now swings and misses. But he'll look at ball 1, 1-1. That's popped up into the air. Catch is made by Ballard. He throws home, but misses the backstop. And the runners will be awarded another base. The run scores, so the Stingers now lead it 2-0. And the runners advance another base. It's now runners on second and third with 1 away. Chris Langstead comes up to the plate. Runners on second and third. Fouls that one back. 0-1 is the count. Great pitch there from Phillips, hitting the zone. 0-2. So that one is a tad low there.
Chris still looking for that first hit today. He's been close a couple times, a couple hard hit balls.
Hits the zone, strike 3, down goes Chris Langsted. That's out number 3, but the Stingers, they score 2 runs in the top of the first. They lead it 2-0. We go to the bottom of the first here in game number 3.
Scout the prospects.
Alex Ballard to the plate. He will look at ball 1, 1-0.
Lovely. Love to see that from Cole Blevins.
Cole Blevins. And like Drew Tenzar, Cole Blevins doesn't get the opportunity to pitch too much. That's popped up into the air. Barely.
Wow,
Bailey Rose now.
wow.
It can't make the grab, and it's a fair ball. It's going to be a single for Alex Ballard.
Can't have that.
That's unfortunate. Should have been the first out of the inning, but instead it'll be a single for Alex Ballard. To the plate is Zane Phillips now.
Balls hit a mile high in the air. When you got a pitcher like Cole Blevins, doesn't pitch very often, you got to help him out any chance you can get. But looking at his career, Cole Blevins has a career 12.2 innings pitched, 9.95 ERA. Tough, but he does have 11 strikeouts, 15 walks, and the whip 4.89. Bit high, so he's averaging about 5 runners per inning on base.
That is ripped foul, and
Yeah.
that is Zane Phillips' second foul ball home run he's hit here today. He hit a walk-off 3-run home run back in game 1, the 7-inning thriller that we played in the first game of the series. It's that foul, and that's fouled off again. Full count.
Every week I see Zane taking those hacks. I know he's going to become better and better every year, and did make the All-Star this team this year as he takes that walk right there. But one of those players in the league that has that high ceiling, him and Alex both from this 2023 rookie class.
Runners on first and second for the Cyclones. Evan Clugston to the plate. Ground ball over to Chris Langsted.
Oh,
Gets past Langsted at third. Ballard is going to score. And Evan Clugston advances, and Tenzar tries to get the out on Clugston. Clugston is going to come all the way around to score. Cyclones take a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Score that a double error. Chris Langsted took a bad approach there.
Stingers are still looking for their first out of the inning as Carr swings and misses there. 1-1. That is ripped up the middle over to Tenzar. Hits Jackson Carr. Call him out on the field. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, wait. Run it back.
Calling him out. But we'll see if it's overturned. Taking a look at this now.
Is it foot on yet? Not yet. It's a bang-bang, right?
Bang, bang, play.
Can't confirm. It's bang-bang. Look at
Jackson Carr, it's confirmed he is called out by the monitor. One away here in the inning. Alex Ballard will step up to the plate. Nobody on. Cyclones with the lead. They lead at 3-2. Are you looking at this? Fouled off by Ballard.
I just caught up.
It's 1-1.
1-1 here to Alex Ballard. So that's behind him. Ball 2, 2-1. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Ballard, 1 away, nobody on here in game 3. Cyclones trying to sweep aside the Stingers and take the first seed in the playoffs. Ballard holds off, ball 4. Runner on first for Zane Phillips. Still only 1 out in the inning. Ball 1. Above Phillips' head there. 2-0 is the count. Alone in the dirt, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes here to Zane Phillips. Cole Blevins trying to find the zone here as that is ripped high and deep, and it is out of here. Zane Phillips hit that almost over the tree. That was crushed. And the Cyclones add 2 more onto their lead. They lead at 5-2 here in the bottom of the first.
6th home run of the year for Zane Phillips, slowly creeping up on that leaderboard late in the year.
Unbelievable by Zane Phillips, and we have not reached the run limit just yet here in the first. Cyclones have scored 5. Evan Clugston up to the plate.
I know we're early here and we don't want to commit to anything yet, but the rule is if you're through 2 innings and there's a 10-run differential, it is a mercy rule. I know we're still in the first inning, but 2 straight 6-run innings and only 2 runs scored for the Stingers would result in that outcome.
Ball 3 here to Evan Clugston, 3-0. Ground ball up the middle. Tenzar fields it cleanly, throws and tries to hit Evan Clugston, but he will be awarded 1 bag. He will end up at second, given Tenzar threw the ball out of play.
It's funny how many times we do this. The runners still don't understand where. And
I think
one extra bag is.
They're just going to try to extend it whenever they possibly can. Jackson Carr to the plate. Carr called his shot earlier in the broadcast, said he was going to hit 4 home runs on the day. We have not seen 1 just yet from Jackson Carr, so we'll see if that happens here as Blevins throws that too high. 2-1 is the count.
Mark, I did not say I was hitting 4 home runs.
I swear you did.
Pretty sure I said I said I'm going for 4.
Jackson, we can run back that interview.
Let's run it back. Let's run back that call.
If only it was recorded.
Did he say he was going to hit 4 or he was going for 4?
Definitely said hit.
Oh.
Unrealistic, I wouldn't call that.
He said alone in the dirt, ball 3.
He's definitely made it much harder than it has to be.
3-1. Regardless, though, Jackson Carr has had some great hits here tonight.
All singles, though.
Hit the weight room, Jackson. No, I'm just kidding.
Kidding, but not kidding. We need a mandatory bulking program here in the AWA.
We need to get Eric Sim back out here.
Might be too much bulking. You can get too much contact out here. There's a nice medium.
Yeah. Hits the zone. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Ballard.
Now the rule is if
that's ripped up the middle. The Tenzar steps on second.
Rule is
for out number 3.
As that is an out, it'll only be 5 runs. But if the runs come in via the home run, you can go over the limit. Just keeping that in mind heading into the next inning.
5-run score for the Cyclones. They lead at 5-2. We're at the top of the second here in game number 3.
I feel pretty certain that you're up. Okay. I remember striking out.
Cole Blevins leads it off for the Stingers in the top of the second inning as he fouls that one off. Almost hits the fans that we have down there on the first base side. Hey, it's nice. We got some fans.
We got
now.
3 fans. Jeez.
We'll take that.
Party in Edmonds.
Absolutely. 0-2 here to Cole Blevins. Inside ball 1, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Cole Blevins strikes out. Out number 1 here in the top of the second inning. To the plate is Drew Tenzar for the Stingers. Inside ball 1, 1-0. Ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes.
Drew Tenzar's been putting the team.
Ground ball right to Evan Clugston at first, and he steps on his back for out number 2.
Drew Tenzar's been putting this team on his back, doing everything he can in his power. Fortunately, just a little short so far today.
Bailey Rose now. It's that high up into the air, and
Red.
that's out. Bailey Rose now. That's a home run for Rose now, as Ballard was messing around with him trying to tag him out. But that'll be Bailey Rosenow's first career home run in the AWA. Congratulations to Rosenow, going deep. Save that ball. A lot of firsts here for Rosenow here in his debut. As the Stingers get one back, it's now 5-3. Cyclones lead it.
Chris Langstead got on base quite a bit here today. Unfortunately, still hasn't got that hit, but that's in play.
Ground ball right to Zane Phillips, and he tags Chris Langstead out for out number 3. The Stingers, they get 1 run across. Bailey Rosenow's first home run in the AWA, a solo homer. Cyclones still lead at 5-3. We go to the bottom of the second inning.
Count here to Zane Phillips.
2-0 now to Phillips. As he fouls that one off. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And despite however this series turns out, Stingers were heavily underdogs, but they made every game very close, so you got to give them credit there.
You know, you got to give, like you said, Jack, got to give this team some credit. They have battled here tonight. Drew Tenzar has pitched well. Cole Blevins is just giving all the effort he has out there on the mound, trying to help this Stingers team to a win. Evan Clugston looks at ball 1. But yeah, this Stingers team has definitely fought here tonight. Missing a vast majority of the roster as Evan Clugston just goes way deep to center field. Just to, add a couple of more runs on, why not, right? 7-3 is the score. Cyclones
8th home run of the year for Evan Clugston. Ties his teammate Jackson Carr, moving into that 5th spot. And a 3-way tie. Sorry, 5th spot. Jackson Carr, see if he can answer there.
Jackson Carr to the plate. Cole Blevins trying to work some magic here.
That's a ball.
That might have been 2 consecutive balks. I don't catching his breath there. I don't what.
Luckily, there's nobody on base, so it doesn't matter. Don't let them try to throw you out of your game, Cole Blevins. 1-0.
We'll see what Drew Tens are. If he's going to leave Cole out there, if he's going to try to go to some of his. Look, I see Chris stretching his arms out there. You stretching your arms out there, Chris? Getting ready?
Chris is like, hey,
the
give
Star
me an
Wars
opportunity.
Kid?
The Star Wars shirt.
Oh, that's right.
Popped
Do
up
him.
in the air.
Oh!
And it goes off of his chest. Can't make the grab. Unfortunate there.
Oh, gosh. We were hyping him up, too.
Oh, man. That's unfortunate.
Oh, he's
it's okay,
sad.
Chris.
Oh, Star Wars Kid is sad.
Had his opportunity. It goes right off of his chest. And Jackson Carr, you know,
That's
I
tough.
think we got to give Jackson Carr, he reaches on an air on that one.
Yeah.
Chris Langstead gave it all he had. Unfortunately, not able to hold on. Alex Ballard looks at ball 1.
To his credit there, it's those balls that are in between, over the head, under the head, kind of catching it up your chest. Very hard to do, especially when you're running on.
2-0 here to Ballard. Except ball 3 inside. 3-0 count.
Lovely.
And he fouls that one into the backstop for strike 1.
No outs here. Runner at first. 7-3 the score. Cole's getting a little tired out there. You know, few people know. You know, when you're primarily a hitter, the stress that comes with pitching in the AWA. There's no such thing as an easy inning.
Ballard walks there. Runners now on first and second for the Cyclones.
Say the number of times we've had 1, 2, 3 innings, percentage of at-bats. I don't know, would you say 0.1% of the time? Less than 1 for sure, though.
On Monday, I don't know if he does this every time.
One and 2 count. Oh, bit high.
Bit high there from Blevins. Count is even here at 2-2. Ground ball over to Langstead, and he isn't able to field it cleanly. Zane Phillips safe over at first. Bases are now loaded for the Cyclones. Still nobody out in the inning.
You know, I don't know if we can necessarily say that's an error there for Chris Langstead. It's still a tough play to make. We might give him the benefit of the doubt, give it a hit to Zane.
You did not just call.
You did not just call yourself Corey and Kyle. You just said yourself it's not an error. It's a good play.
I like that. 2-0.
Hits the zone. 2-1 here to Evan Clugston.
Grand slam would end the inning.
Big swing and a miss will even the count.
What?
Ripped up the middle off the top of the center field wall. Jackson Carr scores. And that will be a RBI single for Evan Clugston. Cyclones now lead it 8-3 here in the bottom of the second inning.
That was the 3rd run of the inning coming in.
Jackson Carr stepping in, swing and a miss. Strike one.
57 on the gun.
Ball one, 1-1 is the count. Two and one.
Really see Cole getting into it here. Really big, long strides. Trying to throw some velo.
Ground ball hit the bush. It's going to be a foul ball for Jackson Carr.
I'll say Jackson's really got to start hitting right here. 2 and 2.
2 and 2 to Jackson Carr. Bases loaded. Hits the zone. Strike three. Cole Blevins sits
Save
down
that ball, baby.
Jackson Carr gets his first strikeout of the game. One away.
Well, Jackson Carr said he was going to hit 4 home runs. Instead, he struck out.
They got you, dude.
To Cole Blevins. His first pitching appearance in over a year. Really?
You can go first.
Too
Right
high
on
there. Ball one.
Jeez.
Blowing in the dirt. Ball two. 2-0 here to Alex Ballard. It's the zone. Good pitch there from Blevins. 2-1.
Alex Ballard is the lights-on killer. Has 2 walk-offs with the lights on late in the year. See if he can do it again here. He's got the mic. Cole Blevins starting to pound the zone with these strikes. Cole Blevins
Oh my God.
almost got his second strikeout. It's tough. Hate to see it from a true professional of the game such as Cole William Blevins.
Alex Ballard is so thankful that that was a no pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Alex Ballard.
Jeez.
66 was
Okay.
what? Really?
It did look a little toasty. I don't know about 66.
Hold on. Jeez, Cole, you got a cannon, man.
He's pound. It's a. Cole's got
you
some
can-
adrenaline.
You can see. Okay, I see. Okay, I get it now. Wow.
Oh yeah. Gotta
Lobs
love
that
that.
one. Full count to Ballard. Popped up into the air in foul territory. Foul ball.
It's a long at bat.
It's a long one. Pitch from Blevins is low in the dirt. Ball 4, and Alex Ballard will walk.
9-3 the score here. 4th run of the inning. And a walk-off would end the game. A grand slam would end the game. That would be 10 runs in 2 innings. But the only way they're going to get that walk-off if it's a home run.
I think Cole's trying to hit the camera at this point.
Yeah, it's just rude at this point. I mean, we're out here talking nice things about him. He's just destroying the equipment. He's throwing hard. I don't know why. What's gotten into him.
I love it.
He's mad.
Cole's got that fire in his eyes.
He is mad.
He's like, I don't like to lose. 101 is the count here to Zane Phillips as he fouls that one back into the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Cole Blevins loves living high. He's a long, lengthy guy.
Ball 3, full count here to Zane Phillips.
That last pitch was 61, so he's got to keep an eye on that radar. Cole looking a little winded out there. Not in pitching shape, I guess.
Full count, the pitch. Outside, another run's going to come home for the Cyclones as they get to double-digit runs here in Game 3.
This will be the last, or granted if it's an out, but a home run would end the game. 1 run coming in would end the inning. So we'll see what Evan does here. Dingers or nothing. May as well.
Might as well swing, Evan. There's only 1 out here in the inning as he looks at ball 1.
2-0, and to be fair, you know, those are some fast balls, except for that one right there.
(3-0) to Evan Clugston.
Reload on some balls here. 3-0. Gotta assume he's hacking here. That count, yeah. I think he fouled that off. It was off the knob of the bat. Fouls it off again.
Full count to Evan Clugston. Strike 3.
And up steps Jackson Carr. This will be the last batter of the inning. Jack's can either hit a walk-off grand slam to end the game, or a walk would effectively end the inning with a 6-run cap, or an out would just end it at 10-3, headed into the 3rd inning. Regardless, this will be the final at bat of the game. Jackson Carr.
Of the inning.
Of the inning. Jackson Carr, don't think he's going to get those 4 home runs in this one at bat. I'm going to be completely honest. It would actually be impossible. But he can get 1.
Blowing in the dirt. Ball 1.
Ooh.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 here to Carr.
It's a good pitch to swing at.
Too high there. 2 balls, 1 strike.
See, Cole Blevins really slowing down his velo facing Jackson Carr in the mid-40s. That's foul ball. Oh, let's go to the guy who's standing behind the tree. Was that a fair or foul ball?
I think we're having too much bias coming
Yeah.
up there. I don't think we can have that.
If you look down at there's Jeremy Langstead. There's a giant tree in the way between him and the foul line, so a little tough for him to see there. Means 2-2.
2-2, ground ball, and that's gonna score a run.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Al.
You good? Oh jeez. My
That'll
goodness.
end the inning.
It's gonna, Cyclones. Yeah. Cyclones put up many runs in the bottom of the 2nd. They lead at 11-3. We go to the top of the 3rd. We're in the final game of the series.
Hey, Stingers. I believe. 9. You need 9. I've always believed in you guys. Hold up.
Oh my goodness. Cole Blevins, a little tired.
I believe in you, Cole. I believe in you.
Coles fought violent. How do you say the word?
Looks at ball 1.
Valiantly.
Valiantly?
Yep, there we go. English.
Got you guys. 2-0.
The field does look nice here.
3-0. Field does look nice. It's a beautiful picture. 4-pitch walk, and you know, just like that. That's all the Stingers need. You know, they might be down 8 runs here in the final inning, but you know, this team's got fight. They got fight. Drew Tenzar stepping up to the plate, and I believe in them. I believe in you guys. Drew Tenzar calling a shot. See what he can do here. Ground ball over to Ballard. Flip to 2nd, and they go to 1st and almost turn the double play. Because why wouldn't they, right?
Not exactly what he had in mind when he was calling a shot, I don't think. That would have been good. Jeez.
My goodness.
Don't kill us.
Fouls the first one off. Ground ball over to Evan Cluxton at first. He misses Drew Tenzar. Drew Tenzar rounding third, heading home. Rose now going all the way to third. And that'll be a triple, an RBI triple for Bailey Rose now. It's now 11-4. Cyclones still lead it.
It's not over till it's over.
Chris, I believe in you. I believe in you.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah!
Yeah, this might be Chris Langsted's first hit of the day, and it is. Chris Langstead. Oh, jeez. Are you okay? Okay. Oh, my goodness.
This is why we say no cleats, people.
Yeah, please. Holy. Dude. Oh, my goodness. We might need to put a pad over there or something. Jeez.
It only happens to the people who wear cleats. Playoffs, we might make a mandatory no cleat policy.
Yeah. Pitch here to Cole Blevins is low and in the dirt. (11-5) now. Stingers trying to make a comeback here as Blevins fouls that one off. 2-1 is the count.
Always seems like the last game of the year is the longest game of the series. These guys just don't want to go home. Keep playing the last week of not non-meaningful wiffle ball, but it gets a lot more intense in the playoffs.
I believe in this new look Stingers team. They've fought all day long. They've made these games close. What more can you ask for?
Well, I know Mark's hoping for a win.
Yeah, maybe a win. Swing and a miss from Cole Blevins. Full count.
Oh, boy. That's just two. It's full count. Cole's trying to walk back to the – we're not letting him. He's got to stay in there. Oh, that no.
Why? Oh, my.
Oh. What's so funny over there?
You got this, Cole. Off into foul territory. Low and in the dirt, and Cole Blevins has just worked a walk. What a job. What a job from Blev. Runners on first and second for Drew Tenzar. Score is 11-5. But no mountain is too tall for this Stinger squad. Ground ball over to Evan Cluxton. Oh, he's safe! He's safe, and a run's going to score. Wow, what an error there from Evan Cluxton
well,
as another run comes home.
Safe. It's not in his hand.
Safe. Yeah. Runners on at the corners now for Bailey Rose now. Stingers are within 5. Rose now goes around there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Too high there. 2-1 now to Rose now. It's a tough swing and miss. 2-2.
That was 3.
I mean, strike 3. Strike 3 for Rose now.
Are we sure?
two outs in the inning.
Jack, you gotta stop putting me in this position.
Chris.
I feel like I'm here every game.
Chris, you just got your single, bro.
Chris Langstead to the plate. Runners at the corners as
he's elite.
He looks at ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 here to Langstead.
Whoa.
Fouls that one off.
Kill the spectators.
You gotta watch out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside. No mountain is too tall for this Stinger squad. 2-2 to Langstead. In the dirt. Ball 3.
Full count to Chris Langstead. 1 for 3 in this game.
Do it again, Chris. I believe in you. Strike 3, and he strikes out looking. The Central Cyclones, they sweep the Stingers, and they steal the #1 seed away from the Pacific Pilots. That's going to do it for us here tonight at AWA Field.
Monday.
Cyclones sweep the Stingers.
Monday, playoff start. Stingers taking on the Wolfpack wild card. Tomorrow the schedule will come out. And after that, we got 3 more games of divisional games. Next week, 4 days of wiffle ball, playoff wiffle ball next week.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and everybody have a great night.